Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sogdiana, in which this series soon will be coming across to a bit of a turning point for the Sogdian culture of ours, the as well as for the Kurmasta faith, which still persists around here, even though it's largely dying out up in the steppes, which we once helped establish, but clearly that idea failed with the whole thing that was started by, previous predecessors of Sogdia. Now, over in Eastern Europe, which it's been a while since we took a look at it, obviously Slavic migrations continue, as well as the Avars making their presence known there. Croatians and Bohemians and down in south. The Gallia, Bulgarian Slavs, not Bulgars, also making their way down there sooner or later. Polish is distinct from Windish, and the ones who are Slavic in general are still unidentified, but I would assume that they are the ancestors of the Russian peoples as we know them today. And now Norse people have started to appear, while some are still called by their antiquated names, even though yeah, Finnic pagans, and again, these are cultures' names. Even Danes expanded to there. It's the reason why there are cultures out there. While the Romans have their own kingdoms of regnums of Italia and the other Annonaria, Eastern Roman Empire, with its imperial elective, still chaotic most of the time, but there's a large revolt, and they want independence. And I think they got a very good shot at this. Should they become independent, then that means when the Salman Empire, the Empire of Iran Shah, as soon as they get their act together, they may finally expand into Syria and take back, well, I don't know if they ever taken it back. You must be thinking of the old Achaemenid Empire days. Not even the Parthian Empire ever gotten that far over there. No, but this is probably their best shot if they can get their act together, should these guys win the Independence War. While the rest of Western Europe and Northern Africa is a mess. Even with some Germanic paganism still persisting down there because of the old Africa romance and a few other things that were probably imported by the Vandals. And the Frankish are establishing their big old kingdom, Middlevang. This was founded way before the game's timeline of where we started. Avars have their own area, and the lands of Britannia, separated by the Old Saxons, Danes, Frisians, Welsh even. There's Irish, and there's the Pictish, with Celtic paganism still around there. mess up there. And Iceland belongs to the Irish. And whereas India, well, culturally, little changes except, you know, expansions of certain empires, such as the Tamils with the Shramanic faith there. But Dravidian paganism still persists down there. Yep, see? There's still Dravidian paganism. The Grand Satrapy of Moa. Grande Satrapy. And of course there's the Gupta Empire, but now uses Bengal Empire as the primary title. And that one is a powerful entity. And which we should not be trifled with, should we ever have any dealings with them. Especially with Hindus, which they could be problematic. Xanate of Sogdiana. So, if that man were to have children, if he were to have children in the future, and a bunch of them, many sons and whatnot, the empire would split into two, and we wouldn't have to worry about such issues. We hope. And now back to Turan, where the story takes place in Sogdiana. We know that this is our queen, Queen Chat, or in the Middle Persian language, she is our Benemption, or known in the Sogdian language as Bambushed. So yes, that's what she's also known as. She has a diplomatic education, who was also groomed, erudite, content, arbitrary, but made diligent at the behest of her father. But unfortunately, she suffered some embarrassing and unsightly blisters. It's the lover's pox that she had when she was younger. Especially that she was previously married to the Shah of Iran Shah of the last dynasty. When I was married to some Parthian, a zealous Parthian Zoroastrian, who was a Mazdaist. A real old school guy. But we're trying to get along here. I cannot tell him to convert to our faith, but we'll try to cooperate. And maybe, hopefully, we'll have children. Two things. One, I'll go weapon training, because my combat skills is low, and you know, one day I'm going to get involved in the eventual Sogdian War of Independence. So I decided to invest a significant portion of my time to hone my combat skills. My training could be approached from two different angles. This is Faramaz, a duelist and a gardener. How interesting. He has a situational awareness, and he has gladiatorial equipment. This fighter's been given the best possible equipment for his fight in the blood games. Huh. But since I do not have a military education, but I will take my time and measure my effort. I will train with caution and avoid placing my body under severe strain. The results of the training will take longer on average, but be less prone to injury. The older I am, the higher the chances for injury. I'm still in the prime of my life. 27 years old. I'll do fine. So he doesn't have as much of as he used to. Whereas we've been building up our military, especially by my father, who spent a great deal of money, a great deal of wealth, to build a lot of military structures. So we'll be over 8,000 strong, but we can continue to expand on that. More riding grounds. And also in the meantime, until I will go carousing again, I'm actually gonna travel around the realm and see how it is doing. I'm gonna be traveling soon. Chuzak, my baron. He wants to try for a child. All you got is 3 daughters. I guess you're out of... Died in an accident. Hopefully you could try again with a new one. Wait, what? Oh, for Manichaeans they have lowered fertility. I see. After deliberation with my ancestors and family, I've decided to survey my realm. The preparations will take several days, but the experience will be worth it. After all, there's one thing to hear how is my realm doing, another to see with my own eyes. I cannot wait. It's just I have 4 traits and I kind of want to pick up another one. So I need some help. Readying my horses, carriages, and entourage, I leave my residence early in the morning. I'll probably be gone for about a month or so, as I'll learn more about the realm. What do the nobles do when I'm not around? How are the commoners surviving? Which regions prosper and which languish? So many things to find out. Hey, she cares about the welfare of the people, I assume, since she's kind of content, but arbitrary, but I'd look to change that a bit. Today, I am traveling along some farmland. Suddenly, I've come across one of the city boys harassing a pretty peasant girl. Apparently, it seems like this fool is trying too hard to win affection to this girl. Perhaps I should intervene in this amusing scene. Huh. My goodness, I'm the queen of the land. It feels like I'm a mother figure right now. You, boy, learn how to woo a lady properly. So I'm a vice giver. Gives you slight prestige gain, along with diplomacy and learning. I'm about halfway through the survey of the realm. Onward, we still have more traveling. A small band of robbers foolishly attacked me while I was surveying my realm. My bodyguards easily defeated them, and the survivors are now at my mercy. Imprison them, because they try to, you know, try to steal our things. Our survey of the realm is almost complete. There's only a little bit more traveling to do. It might also be a good time to reflect on everything that has happened. Indeed. While traveling in my entourage, I come across what first appears to be soldiers of my realm. After talking to them for a while, I realize they are bandits masquerading as my own soldiers. Where could they have stolen their disguises? Arrest them! Been wounded. I don't think you should take command of any armies at the moment. The survey of the realm is coming to a close. Now I'm almost home. Beside my residence, a far distance, a welcoming sight indeed. Nevertheless, I've learned much from my journey, and hopefully these lessons will serve me well in the coming years. Still, there's no place like home. So, are the Sogdians really that unruly of a people? She shouldn't be so judgmental. Also, did I really got hurt in the head? Is that my jewels, or is that like I really got hit in the forehead? Stop him. Where the hell are those reinforcements? They're reinforcing. Enemy commander slain. In the chaos surrounding the Battle of Samarkand, my men cornered the Khan, who was cut down with ease. The symbols of high rank on his uniform apparently went unnoticed till a soldier stumbled over his corpse. Good riddance. I didn't know I made you, Commander. You killed him. Alright, you want a little respect from me. I mean, after all, he's ambidextrous. He carries a mace that I could see in his hand. So we killed the Khan, who was leading that host, and killing him, and therefore it disappeared. Up to melee techniques. Just an idea. Could care less about tolerance because of the status of women you already have. That started off because of our culture. Probably go for the more legalism. And go for this as well. Chased. That's gonna take a while. He desires the kingdom of Sogdiana still. But, this will have a non-aggression pact. You will honor that betrothal, I hope. He agrees. So now they'll never attack Sogdiana as long as they're around. Should celebrate Nowruz this year. My mother died of cancer, and on the same day, I'm no longer wounded. And look at the scars. Look what they did to my face. And yeah, I was hit in the head. I knew it. But some would say that these scars build character. But perhaps it may build my own character. Knowing that one day that I will be a warrior woman. A warrior Sogdian woman, which is very, very unusual. It's like, don't worry, women are given a lot of rights in Sogdiana, but the leading armies, that was never in the question. With my illustrious education in all affairs of stated diplomacy, I should have no trouble finding the right way to endear myself to the king, Artavadia. A few well-thought-out words are all I need. So I'll talk about the value of upholding good relations with him and hopefully sway him to liking me more. Hope. Time to celebrate Nowruz. The new year shall soon be upon us, and the world of Iran, from the snow-capped Pamir Mountains to the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, shall soon be celebrating this holiday, which has been observed since ancient times. This year I tend to make Nowruz a spectacle to be remembered for years. Let us make preparations. I'll begin first by clearing out my entire residence. I have a good feeling about it this year. My words achieved the expected results. King Artavadia responded for my appeal for unity by telling me he's in complete agreement with me and wishes only for us to be in good terms with each other. Wonderful. Nowruz has officially begun. I wake up in the morning full of energy and excitement before I do anything of importance. However, I first taste honey thrice and light 3 candles before speaking to anyone to ensure good luck and ward off disease. Now that's taken care of. Time to prepare for the court ceremony. The first day of Nowruz. I welcome Nowruz. In the lavishly decorated hall, my servants have placed silver and gold plates and vases filled to the brim with fruits and colorful flowers all throughout, and it looks beautiful. As custom has it, I am first greeted by the court astronomer. He kisses the ground and congratulates me on the new year and wishes me good fortune and prosperity for the coming year. Good. Now let the singers and musicians come in. My court will enjoy the entertainment, certainly. The song and music of Nowruz. All is festive and joyful as the musicians and singers come in, and my courtiers sit in their assigned locations. As the highest ranking member of the court, I have the right to choose whichever song I want the musicians and singers to perform first. There are many songs traditionally performed during Nowruz, and only Nowruz after all. Perhaps I'd like to hear the grand Nowruzi o Bozog, or the softer, more exotic Nowruzi o Wahawi, or maybe the uplifting spiritual Bad Eid Nowruzi, and there is also the sweet and lovely Taki Priruzi. Well, I kinda want a little more prestige. It'll make me look good in the eyes of everyone. Play the majestic Nowruz i Bozog. Again, you may have noticed me using an accent when pronouncing certain words, because I use an Iranian accent I know little of. I watch as the fires are kindled everywhere in the surrounding villages and towns during the Nowruz celebrations. May joy and hope spread everywhere. The fires are meant to symbolize the most amazing acts of creation being reenacted on a smaller scale. Amazing, yes. Mir Eid Nowruzi. Haha! Varam Askin has been crowned the Mir Eid Nowruzi, or the Nowruzian ruler, as a fake king. He's given an entirely fake throne, officials and soldiers. Unfortunately, Varam Askin can now do as he wishes, being the Mir Eid Nowruzi. Thankfully, his reign will only last a few days. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, won't be forced to do anything stupid. Well, he might, because he's deceitful. Despite the fact that he's charitable and likes to meet all. And he's a man of cloth, too, as you can see. He is a Varam. Damn it! Varam Askin is definitely enjoying his powers as a Mir Nowruzi. He made me do some very embarrassing things. Things so embarrassing that I want to curl up in a ball and die every time I think about them. He'll pay for this. But he's a nice guy. His reign as Mir Nowruzi has come to an end. Now everyone's rid of the throne. Beat him and force him to flee the building. Wouldn't this be fun? Yes, quite fun. Violence is quite fun. And his opinion towards me increases a bit. Felt no sympathy for him. It's part of the celebrations. Nowruz ends. This year's Nowruz has been nothing short of exciting and fun. But alas, all good things must come to an end. As the world begins to calm and settle down, I return to my normal routine. May this year be a good one. Gee, I hope so. I hope you're not doing anything right now, because I'm going to invite you and anyone in the council that wishes to be my friend and therefore loyalist. That Varam's actually my spy master. What's wrong? Busy? Busy with what? Cancer? Proletize. Ah, look. Okay, he's not coming. But the council will. Alright, that's good. Hey! I want to test my might in battle. I may not have the combat skills for this, but we gotta keep those raiders out. So this is her in combat. And she's got that Sogdian battle axe. And all that. Things are going well. When suddenly I hear an embarrassed thump from nearby. Spinning my sword ready? Sword. I see enemy commander, Konisi, or Kunksi, awkwardly attempt to climb a falling tree. I think he's trying to escape the battle, my lady, the soldier next to me muses. He's a Magyar. Ah, that's why that name sounded so foreign. Magyars, descendants of the ancestors of the Hungarians, as we know them today. Ah, how lovely. I should deal with the commander myself. He swings his axe clumsily. Yeah, I can see that's his axe. The fight's gone on forever, and my muscles are beginning to ache. With the remainder of my strength, I sink my Sogdian battle axe into his chest. The man groans, and it takes a while before my own heart stops pounding. Then he is still. Another victorious match. Yep, he had an axe, but my axe is sharper. Right on the chest. Can you imagine the design of that? Right in your chest. So your duel and battlefield experience increases. Now I see she looks a bit bloody. Anyone else? Yeah, I killed your father. I bet you're mad at me right now, huh? But fortunately, he's craven. My gosh, look at her. Bloodied face and all, and that's not from the wound that she got from one of those bandits. Now can we get to carousing? Who's there? Nobody, huh? I think Baron Chuzak might fancy me. You're Kurmazda, right? I mean, you got a lot of children, but you want to try for a child. But no, I'm gonna try to be faithful for now. It's not appropriate. I'll take the piety hit. Take revenge against him. Can't say I blame him. My guests have arrived for the feast I arranged. It's time to let the carousing and merriment begin. Let's get it started. It's a great time to spend time carousing in merry company. While the cups are being refilled, Dekon Namdar brings out a strange board of little decorated pieces. Explain that it's kind of a strange game. Assures me it's a great pastime that combines well with copious amounts of drink. Well, come on. Well, I don't know about that, because he's a game master. He's likely going to beat me for it. I'll just say we'll play for honor. I wouldn't play with money. He's got enough money to build whatever structures he needs for his city. Played for hours, tides of fortune ebbing and flowing as I tried to attack my opponent's position while opening my defense too much. Eventually, however, I made a fatal mistake and my opponent exploited and I lost the game. Next time, invite somebody who does not have a game master trait. But nonetheless, it was fun. I'm a dedicated carouser now. Next year we'll go carousing one more time. might as well go to a normal Sogdian fare because I like to eat some healthy food. Just in case if I get wounded again. Should those raiders come here again. And that noise you hear is the council no longer being discontent. In bulk. Oh, there's two of them. Well, crud. No matter where you go, there's going to be a river crossing. Well, gather around. We'll soon go across the Armudaira. That's the river that separates Khorasan and Afghanistan into Sogdiana. The trade route from Samarkand is in dire need of new pack animals and equipment to be able to continue bringing in goods to our realm. I need to keep this trade route running. The fair is underway as we're gathering troops to Samarkand so we could go deal with these raiders. Better do it rather quickly before they get away. A horse merchant is here at the fair, claiming to breed horses in the wild areas of the Fergana Valley. That's over there. He claims rather boldly that the horses of Fergana, are such as those he sells, are always of wonderful quality, because these breeds are from a strain of a supernatural stallion, a gift from the heavens. That's partly the reason why the Chinese called those Fergana horses the heavenly horses. Because they just gallop so fast that they look like they're flying, because their feet is off the ground as they gallop. I'm interested in that horse over there. Yes, that one. For about a year. But horses are great quality. Best part of these fairs is obviously the food, since people come from all across the Silk Road. There are lots of different cuisines. There's local boiled meats and vegetables, as well as flatbreads, pilaf, and nutty syrupy sweets, of course. Also more exotic dishes like Chinese noodles, Indian curries, and Greek baklava. I have plenty of time to channel, so today I'll first try some. Again, I may get hurt in battle again because I do not have the combat skill to be a great warrior. Even though I had a bit of a duel experience myself after I killed that guy by sinking my Sogdian battle axe to his chest. But also have a little bit of the battlefield experience. Despite the fact that she is a lady, a woman of diplomacy, even though a bit arbitrary. Anyways, after me ranting, give me food rich in carbs, Indian non-flatbread. I hear that's my father's favorite, one would think. They'll be there next year. Hopefully they will not get away. They are getting away. No. No, they're not. Have a battle, and they'll fight just to stop them a bit. Slow them down. Sacrifice yourselves. We will catch them. And as we're on our way, should bring out your best commanders. Including this new guy that just came here. Both of them better than me. Including my gardener and duelist. For a moment, I could have sworn I thought there would be a minor title that'll be like for gardeners, but no, that's for the wonder of a magnificent garden, where somebody gets that gardener minor title. Nope, they're still gonna get away. I really want to go get them. Don't care if we'll go to that river crossing. We will go over there. We got him. Leader of the band. Sidame. Kushtik. Pre-Aksumite beliefs. So, he came from so far away to raid there. But to be real honest, I am glad that the wealth of Sogdiana has grown so much that it made it attractive to raiders, and each time they send these raiders out there, we will fight to drive them out. Hence the reason why the increase of the military buildup. So we can capture guys like these. Alright, come on. Get back to bulk and we'll disband. Oh, hold on, barbershop. Get a better look at it. It's a pretty interesting choice. It's like, yeah, she wears the standard Sogdian chainmail armors I could see. And it's like, yeah, she's wearing a helmet, clearly. But she may have also, she wears a veil over her helmet. Again, we don't typically see Sogdian warrior women, so. And she doesn't even have a military education. She's just doing it just to defend her country from raiders. But after all, she is groomed. She wants to look good as possible. Turani, Holy War for Gaoqiang. While walking alongside a river with several people from the court, one of the courtiers kept annoying me, so I decided to, well, I wouldn't push him. He might drown. He's an old man, you know. Just ignore annoying comments. I'm surely with child. My husband will be pleased. Okay, my first child. That means do not get involved in wars. You'll let the commanders who are clearly better than me take care of it. This is going to be my first child, and I feel complete loss. What if I'm doing something wrong? What if something bad happens? What should I do while I wait for the day of my labor? I need to rest and avoid any hard task. It's the best thing to do. Think. April, okay, we'll go crossing again very soon. Okay, invite whomever is not a game master. How about you, old man? Recently, my bozo Vamadar approached me with an idea of his own. As a matter of standing, he proposed to establish a solid link to one of his best acquaintances and myself, thus establishing a lasting alliance to our house. Nikon's fully invested in making this work if I refuse in for disappointment. For the Mazaban of Tus. No, I don't want to get involved. It's an independent entity which may soon get swallowed up. Morale of armies should always help. I'm indifferent. Just needs more writing grounds. My scribes provided me with the latest draft of my book. Upon reading, I'm not convinced it's moving in the right direction. Perhaps I could ask Xanate for advice on the matter, if nothing else. He'll likely feel flattered by it. I'll seek his opinion. This has a chance of raising the quality of my work, thanks to me being a erudite and yes, it's a work. Again, I'm writing a martial book, not something that's up in my... Guess it'll be for you. Trouble. What a bother. The number of good dresses I'm still able to wear is growing increasingly smaller as my pregnancy takes its course. Perhaps I should order new clothes to be tailored on my current measurements. I really need to order new clothes. Kanji Kent. Barracks. Oh, blonde hair. These days of revelry are excellent escapes. So many laughs and so many tense conversations in such a short time brings me closer to my commands. I feel like good friends already. You're my best friend. Alright. That reminds me. Government is feudal, not pre-feudal. I understand. Well, knowing that I'm a woman of diplomatic education, if I didn't have Lars Fox, I would go for this, but it's just your diplomacy skill is it's pretty good enough, right? Even if you take off Qurans and get a few other things, even with all these modifiers that would be removed, you still have good enough. But again, Christian church opinion. There ain't no Christians around here, so I don't know what Zoroastrian Kurmastic clergy would think. But should I really be a hedonist? That doesn't sound ladylike. It's only 2 years you're gonna change it. He wasn't a socializer. Grandfather was. But socializer, having that is very, very good, because not only because of the diplomacy, but also if you're going to be making alliances, you have a higher chance of succeeding that. Especially having a non-aggression pact. And keep it that way for the Empire of Iran Shah further down to the southwest. Life is all about joining a company of others, so it would be wise to go for that. Due to bandits, or wars, or epidemics, your center of trade is facing harsh times. Voices of several merchants have reached mayors, and donation of your assets seems to be best investment. I do not have enough higher quality goods. Another foreigner visiting my court wishes to argue against our sacred tradition of marriage between close kin. This fellow's cleverer than most. Then he mentions the supposed legal issues of these marriages. Who is heir? How will an estate be divided? What is the proper way to address someone in such a situation, and such things? What matters is that we honor Nanaya, goddess. Plus, we don't do close kin marriages. That's a Zoroastrian thing. We're a different kind of Zoroastrian. People keep forgetting about that. Not all Sogdians are Zoroastrians. competent regent. Baron Chuzak, my regent, has demonstrated to be extremely competent, advancing my interests among my vassals with the utmost efficiency. I will collect the fruits of his labor for a long time. I can only be very grateful. And wow, impressive lead for the next 20 years. The vassals will respect me a little more. My first daughter. Yenna. Naming her after my sister, who is currently the Bambishinan, married to the Shansha. She wears a veil over there. Who's there? Raiders. Of course. Hold your position. Go take the long way around. Take it to the center. You'll be playing goalkeeper, so you won't let those guys get away. In addition, Yenna is also, again, the Babishinan is also the Shahzadeh. Shahzadeh is princess in Middle Persian language, I believe. He hasn't got any children yet, but if he continues to be leading troops like this, and if he gets himself killed... Oh, really? Then the satrap of the Turan satrapy of Paz, led by a Persian who is of Parthian blood. Yeah, long-time Parthian descent. I'm married to a Parthian. And with that, because of my children, so that makes her half Sogdia, half Parthian. Now to come think of it. And you know, since it's a matrilineal marriage, what I should have thought, because since I saw Parthian, wish we would have, yeah, get Parthian blood into us. Yeah, that's one thing I should have done. Maybe when Yenna grows up, I'll name her hair, regardless of skill. I'd like to make her a warrior woman, but that seems impossible. But I guess it's up to me to do so. Nope, they beat me to it. Never mind. Creative weapons armor, of course. Anybody that buys it, good for you. I like to be honest, but I also want to get rid of arbitrary for stability reasons. And you got one more year. Maybe war focus just to get your combat skills up. You really gotta make investments. Roxana insists that I help her get an old hat to fit. A very futile task because she's too big for it, as I told her several times. I'll give it in our demands. Little brat. Oh my goodness, the Gupta Empire. Gupta War for Thakur Kalash claim on Raja Mahendravaram. Why are you involved? Oh, defensive pact. Hold on a sec. Kind of funny that I would be joining holy wars of someone else's faith. Doesn't work like that. Oh, where were we? Yes, training grounds for faster levy reinforcement rate. I was afraid of a Gupta Empire a bit. After all the constant military build-up, it would be wise to build more training grounds. For faster levy reinforcement so we can have faster preparation for fighting against raiders and eventually against our Shakan Buddhist overlord. They'll see. They'll learn. I've been thinking about how in different parts of the world, people have different customs, for instance, and many regions do not allow for siblings to marry. We might think of such behavior as strange, irrational, and even repulsive, but to them it's normal. It's strange how people could differ so much. The more we understand others, the easier it will be to coexist. We don't marry close kin. We don't do that. Anybody who thinks otherwise is a nut. Good. That thing there is the golden staff. That's what she also carries. Should start swaying my over. Actually, he respects me a little more because I'm a socializer. But hey, everybody a little bit helps. My goodness, you got a lot of children. And you're only 30. Whereas I only have one. I mean, I'm not chaste, it's just... My training is paying off and I mastered a new level of combat skill. With enthusiasm, I look forward to what comes next. Remarkable. Improved physical endurance. First stages of combat apprenticeship. Keep it up. Oh, thank goodness. You'd never want to have a volatile province. Sometimes I have trouble remembering. It's like, did I build this in this area here and all that? You still have your fort. Halt! The Jashin Festival, of course. Haven't done that yet. According to legend, Persian King Hussein discovered the secret of fire in the Hall of Pass and brought it to benefit all people. We masters celebrate this with the Jashin Saded Festival. It is held to honor fire and defeat the forces of darkness, frost, and cold. Send out the invitations. A festive mood is in the air. Bonfires are being built near the temples, lakes, and fathers are taking their sons to gather wood for fires while women prepare food for festival. Whoever does not give a branch, may God not grant their wish. Soon the fires are lit. As part of the Jashinit Sadid, the Mobats blessed their communities with the Ateshniyach, the land of the fire, as a sovereign. I expect to attend a ceremony in my capital. Arbitrary yipe. May the realm prosper, because I am of that great immense trait. That's the reason for that. Just make these people win a little respect for me. Mug. More riding grounds. The celebrations are finally over. I feasted on a bountiful food, while outside the bonfires are burnt out, having successfully driven away the demons of frost and cold. Soon the light of summer shall be upon us. Until next time. Monophysite fate triumph. Yikes. I forgot about that. Give that money back to the lenders. And I forgot about him too. Oh, I know what to do exactly. Release him. He can repay me later. And I want you to repay that said favor. Give me some money. Sucker. And don't come here again. You've been here forever. Yipe. Well, he likes me well enough, so time to rejoice. Ask a spouse for assistance. Oh, I am blessed to have a talented spouse. Perhaps my realm could benefit from his expertise. I feel it's about that time. My husband, Artavadia, is truly talented in his own. Without the realm of his own, however, these talents are wasted. Perhaps I could make good use of them. I do need help with keeping my records. Ask my husband to assist me with bookkeeping and administration. It's October. Switch to war focus. Just to get your combat skill up so you'll be ready for anything. My husband Artavadia has accepted my order to help improve the realm's economic affairs. He appears to be somewhat displeased by this order. However, it is not a small task I placed on him after all. My orders still stand, whether or not he likes it. Well, since there's still time, let's just go carousing one more time. Oh wow, everybody's a loyalist. I like that. That means I could pass this. Now listen, you don't have much of a vassal limit since you have all the land to yourself, so let's go for a high centralization just to increase that domain size a little more. Again, domain size 2, but now it's going to jump up 1. But the vassal limit goes down a bit. Because I have that ruler diplomacy bonus. It's guaranteed to pass. Gotta take advantage of that. Afrasia. A castle study? We never had this before, so... You all really love me. Impressive liege also helps. from hospital buildings. I'm sure there's a better spy master than you right now. No, there is not. Wait. Okay, just making sure you're not a game master, alright? Just want to go crossing one more time simply for the sake of it before I switch that focus. I got my eye on you. But you know what? Just in case. Because I'm suspicious of them. Just watching you. Because I know you're going to turn hostile at the moment. I got my eye on you. For dinner tonight, I'll be having deviled eggs. What should be stuffed in these eggs, I wonder? My cook will make them taste good regardless what's inside them. Temperate sounds good. Vegetables. Who says abstaining from excess isn't delicious? Just eating good food, that's all. Now they're going to fight against the Gupta Empire. Are they not dealing with the uprising? The Zoroastrian revolt down there? Oh, they will soon. That's where they're going, right. My husband has brought me several letters from prominent merchants in my realm. They propose the establishment of a major trade route passing through one of my provinces, which would bring much wealth. All they require is my blessing and some gold to pave the road. Oh, I'll do that. Make it so. Now, Dashhowitz gets a trade route, even though I don't hold that land. It belongs to the count there. Says the church is unfunny to him. What? What happened to you, man? All that money. You and your negative money. Because of that, you are causing peasant unrest. In fact, I welcome it. Make it so. This man's too incompetent and he should not be ruling. Let's have a plot to fabricate treason. I'm not really a person of deceit, but I want him out of there. And replace him with a new one. Or keep it for myself now that I have higher centralization. So I can govern it better and get rid of all this corruption. Despite the fact that it's a stable realm, but yet it's very, very corrupt. He screwed everything up there. I think inviting the Kagan to an activity we could do together will help us grow closer to him. Not entirely sure what kind of activity I should suggest. Knowing him, how about a banquet? I highly doubt he'll accept it because he's busy leading his troops to go down to fight us against Zoroastrians and then eventually the Indians. I received the Kagan at the door and help him inside. He looks around a large room, giving me an approving nod of the size of the banquet. Time to enjoy ourselves. Hey! Get out of there. Several hours passes, and Prodigal seems to enjoy himself. Maybe he would enjoy himself more if we managed to find him some company for the night. Zoroastrians do not like it when they're chased, but they do like lustfulness. And I do want children, but I never wanted to become a hedonistic person, but what's a little? I'll help him find someone, so I decided to try to help him to find someone to spend a night with. And therefore, I became a bit lustful. At the age of 31. Not so ladylike, huh? Could have kept it chaste, but double standard, isn't it? See this man disgraced. Oh, god dog it. He knows. Try again. If it doesn't work, we'll frame him. I wake up with a massive headache and Bradakos apparently had already left the premises. I hope he had fun. Oh, he became chased, I assumed. Eh. The merchants in my market are starting to pack their things and harness their horses off the carts. If nothing is done now, my market will be abandoned, and no merchant will trust me enough to participate and try to make a new center of trade. I will fund the market with gold from my coffers, just to keep it alive. Keep bringing free trade goods, and we sell the said trade goods. That's what it's for. It'll work. Guess it's okay to be lost. I still have not received any response from him after the banquet. It seems my plan did not work. Maybe I'll try again later. Because he's chased, and I become lustful. I was just trying to be a little bit of fun. As the time passes, I feel more and more restless. The changes in my body are constraining me, making it hard what simple actions were once. It's been days since I've been out in the fields. This is all so frustrating. Oh gosh, a difficult pregnancy. Eek. For the next 4 years, I think you'll manage, so I'll just say that this child is not worth my life, so I'll drink Juniper's potion to rid myself of the child and avoid further complications, so an abortion then. This woman is recovering from the traumatized consequences of aborting her own child. Wounded and the flu. Oh, don't die on me. You have a rival? Or you just happened to fall and you got a concussion? Yeah, tough luck for us. I was thinking war a bit, but I want to keep the martial up and have a healthier lifestyle, but the only logical option is hunting. But I don't think you can hold a grand hunt as a female character. No. Just keep the martial up and have a healthy lifestyle, that's all. And since you have a few friends, there's a chance they may give you a hunting dog. King Artavari has somehow found that my abortion was not an accident. Even worse, he made the news public, accusing me of offense. This is not good. Oh my goodness. For the next 100 years? The rest of my life? I was about to win the respect of the people. And now you said such things and you call me that? This woman has been exposed for the terrible crime of killing the fruit of her own womb, placing her safety above that of her child. What horrible crime have I committed? When I close my eyes, I can hear the silent cries of my son that never was. The guilt for the ruthless murder of that innocent soul plagues my mind like a disease. What have I done? Some have turned against me. After all that, the guards have caught Kralj Alzek of Albania trying to steal one of my artifacts. You got money? Oh, and you're depressed too. Well, yeah, sucks to be you, so... How much do you make? I'm gonna put you under house arrest until you get your money up. This is going to be a scene that'll have me the rest of my life. Everyone knows that I spent several years directing the work on my book. When today I'm presented with the final product, this is not bad, I murmured, to the relief of my scribes. I felt inspired. Let me see. The many sins of Princess Erdata Fedri. That's my rival, who is married to this Khan here. Okay, anyways. Queen Xanate of Sogdiana has long feuded with Princess Erdata Fedri the Turan. In this rare and personal history, Queen Xanate spends page upon page listing noteworthy events and lessons for their complicated relationship. That ups the combat skill a bit, and the martial as well. That's good. It's a pretty good book. Oh, God. Good thing I went with hunting. And you know what? You should go to a Sogdian fair if you can afford it. Go get yourself some healthy food. Just to keep you alive so you don't die depressed. Ah, Shapur. You're only known for your bravery, that is all. Don't need to be stressed. Don't want any rivals. So you must learn on your own. Whether you like it or not. Well, you impregnated me because you just want to give it a second chance. A bottle of scented oil and a warm bath greeted me as I returned to my chambers. My husband offered to listen to my problems as he gently tended my body. Though it seems foolish, I find myself with few darker thoughts running about in my head afterwards. He is truly a dedicated husband, even though... Who knows? Maybe he saw the error of his ways. Maybe he now understands why I aborted the child then. And yet he had the gall to call me a cowardly and those from my dynasty knows I did what I did. That they'll never see there, you know. But, hey, I'm over it now, alright? I did what I did. Now, rice pilaf, please. One merchant here at the fair is selling a wide variety of precious items from China, particularly jade. I want this jade amulet here. Sogdian music and dance is popular in many lands in places as far as China and Japan. During these fairs, both foreigners and natives, myself included, kind of watch Sogdian musicians and dancers perform their art. Huh. Look at how that dancer moves. She's amazing. Oh, so there's the difference. If you're a male character, you would be stimulated. But if you're a female character, you'd just be highly amused. If her character was homosexual, you think she would think otherwise? That's just a, I don't know, suggestion. Should appoint that domain overseer, since you just saw that large amount of money that just came up. Let me see. Oh God, none of you are good at your job. None of these candidates impress me. You guys are terrible. Should keep an eye in case there's any plots knowing who did what I did. Ouch! As I place a hand over my belly and slowly sit down, a soft smile makes its way across my face. The baby's kicking again. I wonder if it will grow up to be a warrior. If it's a he. I'm sure I am carrying a fierce little soldier. My child's rowdiness inside my belly may be the sign of his future character. If it is indeed a son. And no, I didn't become stressed. There's a rumor about an artist in the vicinity which creates the most magnificent landscape paintings with features of human nature. I need to have one of those in my possession. Yeah, hope you like it. Artavadia has listed the help of some of the women from our staff to cheer me up and keep my mind off the pregnancy while I wait for the child to be born. There's nothing else, so it'll be nice to have somebody to talk to when I'm not handling my duties as queen. Fine, I suppose. Let's try it again. Alright. We'll move in on him soon. As soon as I give birth to this child. Because, you know, you don't want to go to combat while pregnant, of course. One of the maids helped me sit down, gently taking a feel of my belly and asking me if I'm comfortable enough. Another servant encouragingly holds a spoonful of soup close to my mouth. All this pampering for my gossip is really spoiling me. I have the diligent trait, so don't worry, I can handle this. Permanent increase. Good. I got a personal unveiling of the painting I commissioned for. The artist truly did a remarkable job. This should be on display for all my prominent guests. Here is the magnificent painting. This remarkable painting almost comes to life and brings it outdoor in nature while I'm observing from under the roof. A truly enchanting piece of art. We really need a domain overseer. I said none of you are good, but we're not going to get one anytime soon unless we do something about it. If it is a son. If it's a daughter, then oh well. It is a son. Think of a name that would be recognizable. Wouldn't give him a Parthian name. CK2. Yeah, that's the Sogdian spelling of CK2. No, it's K. So CK2. He could be the future. Depending on traits, of course, but if he does become that future warrior in him, then that might be it. Oh, let's move in on him. You are the traitor, because you are an incompetent goof. Get out of Dash Woods. And you know, since I'm arbitrary a bit, I might as well humiliate him on his way out, because just my ass. You're terrible at your job, and you said church is unfunny? Well, I'm gonna give you something to laugh about. I ordered the tar to be poured over the knife on, after which he rolled in my fetters. My guards obviously wheel him around the city. Commoners and nobles alike sneer incredulously at him. What a display. The dress suits him. He didn't pick up any traits. You've just been publicly humiliated on your way out because you were terrible at your job and what you did over there. Despite the fact that it's a peaceful province, but it's very, very corrupt and it needs to be dealt with immediately. As I said, it needs to. Starting with this. To make investments to increase the income. The White Tiger. Lately I've heard persistent rumors from peasants and travelers in the wilds that a strange mythical beast has been sighted in my realm. It's a white tiger. Powerful and elusive. Common folk claim it is from another world and that the hunter claims it will be imbued with divine power. Actually, tigers did live in the Iranian plateau and even into the lands of Sogdia. They were called Caspian tigers back then, or the Persian tiger. They were common back in those days. So I must send people out to find it. I can't do grand hunts, but that doesn't mean that could stop me from, doing this sort of thing. My training is paying off and mastered a new level combat skill. Now I have a hand-eye coordination. After training with dedication for so long, my mentor says I've reached my potential. I cannot progress further. Certainly have improved somewhat. My potential fell short of the maximum. Additional lessons to combat apprenticeship. Yes, sirree. You got it. That's a lot of money, too. My trusted steward came to me one afternoon with an idea to foment the development of her favorite province in my domain. The plan is to create a construction of buildings there, thus significantly improving the conditions of the development of the province. Well, let's see. This will involve my participation in it. I expect to present the whole funding scheme to the local leaders of the province. Be warned that favoring some guilds of monetary gifts will cause unrest in the province. To be successful, convince the local leaders my good attention will need my stewardship skill, which I have plenty of. I'm not just, unfortunately, which makes me arbitrary. It's the opposite. But I'm not cheerful, nor an administrator, and I'm not charitable. Gee, I don't know. And the low levels of the stability of the province. Because of come desert, it's low stability. So it's selected for development. So let's give this a work. Oh, crud! Disease is here again. Started in Bukhara. It's camp fever. God dog it. Why do bad things always happen to good people? And also you have an artifact vault because someone tried to steal it from earlier. And try that smuggler operation again for another source of income. You could donate to charity if you want to pick up that charitable trait, which would have been good. What? Oh well. So, see you later. Here we go again. Next time, spend the economy events on construction, so stuff like that doesn't happen again. Deaf ears. After traveling to the province and meeting with the local leaders, in spite of my promises, I was unable to convince them of my good intentions and my grandiose plans for the province. Everyone got very suspicious of my motives and very negative in their opinions. Oh, jeez. It'd immediately make them a rebellious province? Oh, no! That's a terrible idea. But I will accept defeat. So as the local population reviews through my plans, I was able to recoup most of the gold I invested in this endeavor. Don't do that! To tell them, they say, I will do this. If I was a cruel dictator, I would. But the idea of dictatorship in Sogdiana seems unattractive. I find myself touring an impoverished province. When word reaches me of a band of ruffians terrorizing local farmers, I remember Zarathustra preaching not only to live righteously, but also to actively fight evil wherever one can. I'll hunt them down myself. And I just got wounded for that. And also pregnant too. Yeah, pregnancies come with considerable risk now that I'm with child. I had to appoint the regent who could take over if anything should happen to me. Yeah, I just got wounded after dealing with bandits. Large smuggler operation. You're in good hands now. Ah, here we go again. Artifact vault built. Get a cape. They implement a system of rationing, something that we learned from Father. He did this once, so we thought, well, why not? And it seems that Zoroastrian revolt is going to be much more likely in this area this time. At first the signs are small, easily dismissed as coincidences, but now they're becoming too frequent to be ignored. I will give birth under auspicious stars. I am surely blessed. Also, what occurred? Barso conquest of Balasagun. He hired a bunch of mercenaries for this. Brother, my brave brother. If I die, you're gonna be the one running the country. I dreamt of the world where brothers could marry sisters, where sons could become closer to their mothers, thus their place of origin, where fathers could make love to their daughters, where sacred marriages, the Kurmasta faith, were widespread, accepted, and encouraged, where righteousness and justice were everywhere as a result. Then I woke up. I hope one day my dream will come true. Inbreeding is good, she says. Clearly she's been hit in the head. Let's eat some rats. Then I've arrested a man with an armed man with ragged armor and a spotty horse. He says that the man claims to be a Finan, but clearly does not believe that statement. A Fined? Is that a Sogdian word for knight or a Ashwalan? Ordered him be released. May regret this later. Oh. How dare you? You got any money in you? Get out of here. Only way for that person to be banished. Door. Silly. How could you do this? I'm keeping you because you're a potential commander. Be one of the good ones. About to give birth to her third child. Guess we're getting over with that abortion thing, alright? It's becoming volatile everywhere. Getting dangerous to be traveling out in the country like this. Wish I wasn't arbitrary. Another daughter. Alright. Nazila. Sooner or later, I'll get over my wounds. As we continue to beef up the size of the Sogdian military, which could be up to 10,000 strong on a good day. I am bringing Shazade to a local today where there should meet with many of my brothers and sisters who greater politely live. My sister says to all those meet today, I'm very proud of the attitude of the ways of I'm not a member of any society. It's a Zoroastrian thing, I guess. I'm supposed to say Zoroastrian church or clergy or whatever. The pact is off. Turan dynasty is now in charge. And oh my goodness, they did it. They really did it. Oh wait a minute, that's Syria. The Eastern Roman Empire still holds parts of Egypt. Scythia Minor. Big old Saxony. Inherited. So they did win their independence. With some isolated Eastern Roman provinces. Shazade. Blood of the Parthian. Let's say. Here's your non-aggression pact. And Afghan Buddhists won their independence. It looks like all that time kicking in my belly was not just for show. My sweet Khosrow is growing into a fierce and healthy boy. Proud of him. As a pious woman, having read the texts of the Vendidad, I'm more aware of the Deva's presence all around and the danger they put my family and realm in. So I decided that my house shall adopt one of the good spirits as dogs. How about Vohusnaga, the dog of Adamaster? A Vohusnaga of Afrasiab is known to the people as a kind creature of Ahura Mazda, protecting my capital from the Devas which roam in the darkness. Take him in. He is one of the Unash. Get a house dog. So those people of my faith will respect me more. Also better chances to discover any plot, as well as add more plot power defense. Here's the money. It's a good idea. In case there's plots against me, knowing my husband was found by his chambermaids in his study again last night. He's sleeping using a thick book as a pillow and a burnt-out candle on his desk. His haggard appearance tells the story of many a sleepless night over poring over records and letters. Perhaps he struggled to keep up with the work I placed on him. I am confident that he can handle his work. I really think so. Census. My husband's come to me with an ambitious and costly proposal. By taking a survey of my subjects' wealth, health, and other bits of information deemed relevant, he is adamant that my administration could be far more efficient. After all, what once worked for the Romans, surely it should work now. No stone should be unturned. I pay for the census. The resulting information will be valuable for future development. That's a big jump. Where the heck did these guys come from? That is a powerful Khan, a vassal. He's now got a big horde, but also hired mercenaries. There's too numerous. I wish I could go out and help them, but they only want Valasagun. And it also indicates that these guys aren't messing around. Especially from this Khan. They're going to cause quite a bit of damage to this area until they get their act together. Well, I can't get wounded any further, so I'll keep fighting. It's been an exceptional year at the wheat field in Bukhara. Yes, it was. They're gonna take it back. They're going back to Chach rather than go to Fergana. Don't you feel you are endangered? Time for me to buy my new wardrobe. Somewhere to put my fair clothes. My old one is worn out and will likely fall apart any day now. What sort of wardrobe should I get? A person of status such as myself can afford a decent wardrobe made of good quality wood at any rate. Something nice, a bit stylish, but not too much. An old wound is aggravating and painful. May Kurmazda have mercy on us. Now that's added to it, so I don't know if I'll live any longer. Because of aborted child, trivial food shortage, I might die. But can the prince handle it? That's another question. But I am not 40 years old yet. And plus, let me see. I don't have the learning skills I used to because that infection is really getting to me. So there's a good chance that I might die. I die young. That effects of abortion and other things is just... And I haven't gone to a fair just to buy some healthy food for me to eat. And there's disease out there, so it's just rather unfortunate. But yet, when I look at you, Shapur, don't temporarily, I'll make you the marshal, the spabud. you'll complete your ambition, just to increase your martial skill a little bit. But is he really the chosen one? Because I thought CK2 would do, but he's way too young. Roxana, however, she is tall, but rowdy, but she's a child of a concubine. Let me look at her a bit. The base diplomacy isn't good. She's got good martial, but the base of everything is just But her being taller might win a little respect. Again, got that from her. Can't win them all. So, when's your birthday? Oh, next year for 12. Because she's got the only one rowdy, which makes it more likely martial education. But if I do play as her, then I can actually keep the martial education by choice. Whereas for him, if I keep Shapur, I mean, when you're out of seclusion, then his diplomacy isn't good enough, and plus appalling learning. But you'll have the high stewardship where he can hold all the land to himself. As long as he's married to a good spouse that has a high stewardship and all that. But he is my younger brother. And a military man. And it's something that Sogdia needs. Someone in the military who can train well. But he doesn't have a lot of traits other than says, oh, he's a brave soldier. That's all we know about Shapur. So I will stick with my brother. In case if I die, which it may happen. Oh my goodness. Look at this. They're getting devastated. Unaware of others hearing them, Yossagun Sulabi and Prince Turan of Turan been sneaking around the premises and to have intimate encounters. Few seem amused, but indiscretion. That's what this is. But it is only entertaining thing in here. I leave the couple B's, I'm lustful. You know, all that happened because they have way more enemy cavalry and all that. Oh, just made worse the fact now that he's the new Khagan rather than a Khan. So now he will have the full might of the military to be another reason why we strengthen up the Sogdian military, because of not just raiders but also these Khaganates out there. And that's why we must have more riding grounds. So we can have light cavalry, heavy cavalry, and horse archers. Play it at their game. Seems the Shakans are incapable of dealing with that matter. And now they're so weak that they can't defend themselves. Whereas for us Sogdians, we can. We can trust them. After spending lots of time with a few people, I've been positively surprised by Holun. During this difficult time, I've gotten to know and understand her well. In many ways, she comforts me nicely and have a good time together. The real question is, will I survive infection or will I die of infection? Which, to be honest, I don't think it'll be a big loss. I did what I can. At least I made quite a military spending. And it'll be led by a proper Sogdian military man. Who will one day lead the country to freedom. But if I do recover from my wound and infection, then there is a word of an epidemic. We received news of a horrible epidemic in Kataka, part of the Gupta Empire. At first, the rumors are thought to be exaggerated, but ever since disorderly arrival saw refugees at our gates, it's been difficult to ignore what is happening. They tell of various symptoms, but our courtiers there report seeing large varices, vomiting blood before dying, while others have their extremities turned black, nodding off their bodies. Terror spreading rapidly its disease, and so far there's no mention of a cure, only mass graves. Is this the well, Sarvana? It started in a Kolshala. No, you're incorrect. That's Tosali Kalinga area. Good news, my lady. We received credible reports of a recent sighting of a great white tiger in the county of Samarkand. Saddle my horse. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go die looking for that tiger. It's like saying, if you're gonna go down, you're gonna go down fighting. The bubonic plague. There are rumors of a terrible plague spreading in the Gupta Empire, leaving a trail of desolation in its wake. Pestilence is nothing like we've ever seen before. May Sarvana prevent a pestilence from ever reaching our realm. Oh, and one more thing. If I do die, give me a sky burial, Shapur, brother. He is my legitimate brother, not a half-brother. But there is a chance that I may live. I've gathered my followers and my hunting dogs. I've saddled my horse and prepared my weapons. I'm ready to set out to hunt for the great white tiger. An epic hunt it shall be. Everybody's returning to their duty. He is not my type. A rowdy proposal. A man claiming to be one of the leaders of the rebels of Oroshana comes one night to see me. I received him and proceeds to tell that he's willing to betray the rebels for a purse of gold and an invitation to be part of my court. My spies tells me he is not the most trustworthy of men. Not trustworthy. Capture him on the spot. They say not he's trustworthy, so I will listen to him. I spent weeks in the wilderness searching for any trace of my prey, but to no avail. However, I find I rather enjoy being out in the wilds. All this daily physical activity makes me feel stronger. This is great, but I didn't become brawny, unfortunately, which would have made me most likely live. But I won't give up. Will not. The white tiger eludes me. Get this. And just to make sure, you'll take care of it. Should go to that Sogdian fair. Go eat some healthy food. To keep you alive for about a year. Diplomatic. You'll learn something from me. Time to rejoice. So you have lost Balasagun. Slaves are often sold at these fairs. Girls from the region known for their beauty are popular amongst discerning customers and places for show. Today I found the most lovely young lady. She'll make a good consort. Well, since I'm female, it doesn't matter, so I'll just say if I were a man, of course. Otherwise, I'm not really interested. But if she had a homosexual trait, would it cause differently? I may never know. A Chinese and Sogdian man have come to me due to dispute during an affair. The former claims that the latter sold him as slave girls, claiming she was born a slave and not a free person forced into slavery. But the girl turned out to be the latter, which is illegal in China, and he can't bring her home with him. The Sogdian though says he never lied and told the truth from the start. I'll support the Sogdian merchant in this dispute. A Chinese merchant should have been more careful with his purchase, though the Sogdian merchant may have been crafty. It is the fault of the buyer for not expecting the goods better. In the market, I encountered a courtier who doesn't seem to recognize me, mistakes me for a lesser noble. Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. I was like, do you go to Chat's palace very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. I actually advise the queen on political matters. My input is valuable, of course, but it's probably a bit over your head. Ignore the fool and move on. Rice pilaf. If I survive either wounded or infection, then I should be alright. And maybe I will consider naming one of my children heirs to the whole thing. Seems I cannot be honest of everything. Here we go again with this. But hey, it helps. With all the construction, and in the future when we make a lot more money, spend it on hospital structures. He is much weaker than it used to be. Hasn't been a while since we last surveyed it all. Reports have reached us that traders in charge are being harassed by raiders in my lands in Samarkand. Send my marshal to hunt them down. There was a low chance of him dying, but I just believe that Shapur has what it takes. Prince Shapur brought forth me the head of the raiders leader, of the bandit leader, who previously plagued merchants in Samarkand. Excellent work. There's your prestige so you can feel rewarded. And in addition, here's your actual reward. You'll be one of the Spabud, which the title roughly meaning army chief could be traced all the way back to the Achaemenid Empire. And during the Sassanid reign, there were 4 Spabuds assigned to each corner of the Persian realm. It remains a prestigious military office. Be proud of what you have. Salute to the homeland. And we're rooting out the corruption of Dashwoods. I know some of you want independence, and I think it's a fine idea. Kind of makes me wonder, mind if I join? Because the only way to start a war independence, because I don't think we should do it directly, we should encourage help other ones. And all that. Just in case. How many do I have exactly? Let me see. You have over 1,500 light cavalry, over 100 heavy cavalry, and 223 now horse archers. That's in special units. Oh, in addition, Shapur. Well, actually, no. He can't be a commander as he's already Spubbo. But we can all hope for improvements. But you are a skilled tactician and nothing more. You are just basically a soldier at this point, Prince. One of my courtiers came back today after visiting a cousin living in a town so distant away. I was offered some precious onions as a gift. Thank you. This would go great in soup. A Turani whole new war against the Heftalites, the last of the Heftalites. They've been stuck there for a while, and now, well, all that's coming to an end now. And speaking of all things coming to an end, we're going to end this episode in 597. At the beginning of 597. Which, the next episode will be about the turn of the century, and we'll see whether or not if Queen Chat will live. But if she dies of an infected wound that's been plaguing her as of late, then and I would say it's probably not a terrible loss because we got someone who's probably just as capable. But the only flaw is, well, he doesn't have much of traits. He doesn't have much of a personality other than says he's a brave man. And that's all we know about him. So there's a lot of character building for Shapur, in case that were to happen. And also, I believe you should also get married soon, since you're pretty important to me now. But if I do survive and I live up to 40, I'll give him a few traits. You know, just to groom him, so to speak, to be a proper heir. That is, unless if any of my children, if any of them who is more qualified, especially looking at you, who knows what the future will bring for Sogdiana. So in the next episode, I believe the time for a Sogdian War of Independence will finally come closer and closer than before, as they have become much weaker than ever before, while there's a new danger out there with the Bulgar Khaganate out there, as they have a large horde and they have a large amount of money, which they'll use it to raid whomever they see and as they wish. But I guess we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.